Hello everybody and welcome to Evil Ted Live here on twitch.tv/EvilTedSmith. Um, uh, for you people out there following me on YouTube, definitely can guys check me out on Mondays and Tuesdays from 9 a.m. I'm sorry, yeah, 9 to 11 a.m. What I'm doing today, I'm working on Vampire D's body armor. And this, I have a vacuum form chest piece. Now people can be asking me, where'd you get this? I got this years ago off a vacuum form pole. And what I'm doing is I'm going to use this. This is going to save me a lot of work. This is kind of nice. You guys, sometimes you can find like a mannequin form or something that's pre-sculpted. Um, there's a cool thing. I found this, and I think this would be perfect for me to make the armor. So I'm going to translate this into foam, and I'm going to do that is to make this into a pattern. So I'm going to have to go ahead and make my lines, my registration marks, and cut marks to try to plot this out and figure out how I'm going to do this. I was thinking about a half-inch foam, but I might end up doing this thinner to get this full sculptural look. But let's go ahead and plot this thing out. Go ahead and just do the cut line right here on the inside chest piece here. I'll probably do like 5mm on this. A lot of people like where to put your lines, where to cut. It all comes from kind of like a little bit of practice, but this piece, when I go to cut this stuff out in foam, I'm definitely going to heat a lot of this curl, put it back into it. You know something? Hold on, I'm already changing my mind. See, this is one cool thing when you're doing patterns. I'm realizing this line. Now, I'm going to finish this curve. Needs to come up through here. So I'm going to do this. So by doing that, make it a paper towel. I'm just going to wipe off. So when you have a Sharpie line, you can just go back in with the alcohol and a paper towel and just wipe it off. It's one of the cool things about the early stages of the. Okay, now I want to follow this line. I'm going to do this instead. Have this be right here. On the neck, I'm going to have it. I'm going to leave this a little small. I could always trim it bigger later. So I'm just going to kind of go. All right. So when I figure everybody, I'll show you one of my tricks because I'm lazy. Hold on. I'm going to take this X-Acto blade, cut it right down the middle like this. And there you go. Now, when I'm done, I'll show you guys what I'm doing. I cut this so I can take this pattern, flip it, and just trace it. Therefore, I'm going to get my exact opening here. Ah, there it is. Okay, good. That's the next one. Now, again, once I get this cut out, I can definitely go back and if I need to. That's one thing about pattern making too. When you guys make your pieces and you put it and cut it out, and make foam, and you realize, oh, I can maybe add more here or take away. You can just add it in your pattern. So therefore, you don't have to keep adding foam to your costume piece. You can just, as your R&D in your part, and you start to realize, for example, like if you get one of my patterns and realize that something's a little too small, too thick, you can just add the paper pattern. Therefore, every time you make it, you get the same thing every time. So let's go and do this. And that's it. Okay, now we have this opened. What I'm going to do now is make registration marks to where I'm going to make the lineup marks. And then I do about like 1.5 inches. That's pretty much, people ask me my spacing on that. And I try not to go as, you don't need a lot of them. You just need enough just to get the premise of what you're lining up. So, because I'm seriously considering thinking if I do all this, I can just cut this right down the middle and just flip it. Because they're basically the same thing on both sides. So I might do that on the actual, when I go to transfer this onto poster board, I might just take this right down the middle. So, because I just like to do it symmetrical. I like my pattern symmetrical, especially with the, there we go. So what it is, I take this all apart and I would just flip it. So I'm going to label them because this is the left side. So this is left, chest. Let's go just do it real quick. This is called this A. I'm going to call this A edge. See? And then this underneath would be the A. So we know these two edges are going together. I'm going to start cutting from the center end. Here we go. The more I'm looking at this pattern I'm making, I'm going to probably end up making this armor, the chest piece, out of 5mm foam, because all these contours and shapes and bends and heat curves I want to put on it, it's going to be the best way to do that is with 5mm foam. Now, I don't just mean 5mm foam in general, I mean TNT cosplay foam, because their foam is dense enough, I like, that I can heat curl it and it'll hold this shape. And lift this off like so. Ta-da! Alright, I'm going to cut this inside piece here. Get that. And there should be, that's the last piece. Okay, alright. Now that I have this, I'm going to put these guys down right here. For the chest piece, yeah, I darted this and realized that that's not even close what I need to do. This might have to come up. As a matter of, let me think about that. This might just be, let's put this back on. And the more I look at it, I don't know why I didn't see that before. Is that this line's so strong. And that. I'm going to make this a whole separate piece. Because this cut is so drastic that I don't want to lose it. And it apparently turns out that darting would not fix that. So I'm going to make this a completely separate piece. And it's very much similar to what like my tactical body armor I did on a particular costume. Because I had to do a huge step off of the chest piece. And now I'm looking to say I should have thought about that sooner. So I did that. Let's do it. Now here's the thing that's funny with these marks. I always try to do the registration mark in the opposite side in a different place so I don't get confused. It just helps. So just do that. See, now I have this. We went back, revamped this part because this crest, definitely it was so cool that it needs to be a separate piece. All right, got it. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim. See, and the whole purpose is as long as it makes everything lay flat. Because if it doesn't lay flat, it's not going to work as a pattern. The little puckers and stuff like that's no big deal. You can rub out, curl, put a curl in the foam. Like if you you cut this and dart it, make it lay flat, but it's such thin foam, it's such a thin curve, you could just heat form that. So the only thing you do is the big things like this you have to cut. So now we have that out of the way. Every little triangle, my registration marks. So we got to cut these guys out because these are the key to reassembling. So I cut these little triangles, so I'll be able to transfer this into a pattern. What I'm here is that I have a thin stock of poster board stock, and I have a EVA floor mat foam down here. And what I like to do is I like to put the poster board on top of my floor mat foam. And what that allows me to do is to take these patterns, as you see right here, and to pin them down. And because with something like this, you don't want them to travel, and being duct tape is kind of flimsy and not kind of move around a little bit on it. You want to make sure you get a complete, perfect representation of this duct tape pattern you made into paper. So I found the best way to do that is I used to try to hold it and trace it, and it just kind of slides all over the place. So what I end up doing is I just put a piece of foam underneath it, so that allows me to pin it in place. See? So you put your poster board on top of the foam, therefore you can just pin directly into it. All right, I'm going to just trace this with a Sharpie. Get my marks in this, clean up a little bit. And of course, this was my chest. We called that number, that was chest. Oh, chest, and it's that is the left, and this is the A edge. Got that. And then we move on to, this is the smaller chest piece. Let's just kind of squeeze that on here. Again, straight pins. All right, now we have these parts all laid out. I'm going to cut them. And this, you'll see a lot of these wiggly lines and whatnot. I'm just going to clean a lot of this stuff up when I cut it. So I'm just going to pick my line. All right, the patterns have been transferred to poster board. I have my chest, lower chest, all the pieces. They're going to be, now that I'm all cut out, we're going to go back through. I'm going to cut out the registration marks, and we're going to transfer this onto foam to do our test pattern. Guys, that concludes the Vampire D pattern making on the chest piece I have. We did the duct tape. I'm transferring on the poster board. Next, I'm going to go through, cut these registration marks, pin them onto some gray foam to do some test cutting, heating, forming. I want to thank everybody so much for watching. For all you people out there on YouTube, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Any questions, just anything where I get my supplies, shop in my links below, and go to my website, eviltedsmith.com, and get on my mailing list. And if you go there, I have plenty of patterns for sale. I have Bill Duran's book, Foamsmith Volume 1 and Foamsmith Volume 2 on weapons making, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you back next time right here on Evil Ted Live.